So it's Thursday today, time for a quick throwback Thursday. Back to October 2019 when I went to the Tokyo Motor Show, saw the Africa Twin, really hope that it comes to India very soon. And guess what? That's exactly what Honda has done. Haven't wasted any time at all. It's already here. And the other thing that I wished for, the Adventure Sport, that's the one that has come to India, not the base model. So let's quickly go inside and take a look at what has come to India, the new CRF1100L. So here it is, the new CRF1100L Africa Twin Adventure Sport. Now, as you are aware, there are two variants of this bike. There is the base variant and the Adventure Sport, and within the Adventure Sport there is the one with the regular suspension and one with the electronic suspension, and that is the one that has come to India. We are going to be concentrating on this black motorcycle because this one right here is being shot for an interview. So we'll concentrate on this. So first up, let's talk about the design. It evolves the design of the CRF 1000, makes it a little more aggressive. The headlamps are new, the detailing of the LEDs, the daytime running lights, all of that is new. So these are LED headlamps, of course. And what you see here, right below, this is the cornering lamp function. So the moment you tip the bike into a turn, it will illuminate that particular light. It will illuminate the corner for you. So it's got a cornering light function, something that the touring community will definitely appreciate a lot. Now, why the Adventure Sport? Well, that's because this one certainly makes more sense now, because the base version of the Africa Twin is a lot more off-road biased. It is literally a dirt bike that has donned a more touring appearance. It's a dirt bike at heart. This one is the more touring friendly version. This is the one that will gain more popularity now going forward. It's not as hardcore or not as basic at the same time as the base model. This one is the more advanced version. So like I said, the design is new. It's an evolution of the 1000. You also get a new tail lamp design. You also get a new exhaust design. And if you look closely, the alloy wheels now have, the wire spoke wheels, beg your pardon, the wire spoke wheels, you'll see the spokes laced to the outside. So these now come with tubeless tires. What you see here is the Metzeler Karoo Street. That is what this bike comes with. The tire sizes, the wheel sizes remain the same as the 1000. You have an 18-incher at the back and a 21-incher at the front. And the heart of the matter, the new engine. So compared to the 1000, this one is an 1100, 1084cc to be precise, and now it puts out 102 PS of power, 105 Newton meters of torque. So those magical figures are there. It's not the same output as before. It has grown on the output. It is more powerful. It is stockier. And what you see here is the dual clutch transmission, but the big news is you can also have it with a manual. Now, compared to what we've seen previously, this one certainly looks larger. It is a sleeker design, yes, but the bike looks larger, and that is thanks to the huge tank. It's a 24.8 liter tank. You also get a much taller windscreen compared to the base model, which is not coming to India. This one has 60 millimeters more travel. This right now is at its lowest position. And when you go here, this is where you get more new stuff. A twin screen setup. Let it boot up. Takes quite a bit of time to boot up. So by the time it does that, let me quickly show you something. So this is a 6.5-inch screen, and the beauty of it, it's a touchscreen system. It's got different layouts, different menus and all of that. There's 4 riding modes. We'll come to that in a bit. But the best part is it's also Apple CarPlay compatible. Should have been called Bike Play, but yeah, Apple CarPlay. There is a USB port on this side for connecting your phone. This is a 1.5 ampere USB port. And you have 2 screens, so in case you're using your Apple CarPlay, all the vital data, your speed, the gear position, the running, the fuel gauge, all of that will also be shown here. So you have, that's the function of the twin screen setup, and I think it's brilliant, and that's what the menu looks like. Media, phone, you can also pair your phone for Bluetooth telephony if you don't have a Apple iPhone or if you're not connected via the cable. So you can also use the Bluetooth functionality. I wish there was Bluetooth Apple CarPlay as well, but I think we are asking for too much. I'm glad that there's CarPlay here. You can use it for your navigation and all of that, and that's something that we'll put to test when we review this motorcycle. Now, since we are on this frame, well, unfortunately, no electronic suspension on the India spec model. You get the manually adjustable suspension setup. This is a Showa setup, 45mm forks up front, 230 millimeters of travel, since we are on the topic of suspension, whereas the rear shocker, it gives you 220 millimeters of travel, and it is also manually adjustable. So this was the DCT, but you can also see the marking for the gearing, and like I said, that's because a manual is also being offered. So yeah, like I mentioned, this is the Karoo Street, the Metzeler Karoo Street. That is what this bike comes with. I'm just going to walk around, and because this is the Adventure Sport, before I miss out on it, yes, you get this huge bash plate down below. Twin radiator setup. And now coming to the engine. Well, this engine is mated to 6-axis IMU. It is from Bosch, and that IMU opens up a new range of functionality. There is ride-by-wire, of course. There are 4 riding modes. There is Tour, there is Urban, there is Gravel, and there is also an off-road mode that you get with this. Thanks to the IMU, you also have a cornering ABS function, is what I'm told. That's something that we need to verify and test out. And like I said, there are 4 riding modes that you can choose from. You can also set 2 user modes, save your settings the way you want. There is still a 7-step traction control, but with the new 6-axis IMU, it is better tuned. It's more fine-tuned than before. I think it looks stunning in black. So yeah, there are 2 colors this time around, not like before where you only had 1 color to choose from every year. You have the option of this black, and you have the stunning tricolor. If I was buying, this is what I would get. And this one here is sitting on Bridgestone wheels, Bridgestone tires. Like I said, the wheel sizes, tire sizes, all remains the same as the previous model, but both the manual as well as the DCT get the wire spoke tubeless rims. You also have this nice looking white frame. It's done up in a gloss finish. It's something that we also saw on the new Tiger recently. It looks quite nice on this color. Also exclusive to the Adventure Sport are these brushed metal panels for better protection, of course, and then there will be a host of other protection accessories that will be provided by Honda for this motorcycle. Speaking of the exhaust, well, it's again got an exhaust valve, so it sounds different at lower speeds, sound different at higher speeds, higher engine speeds, and that's something that I'm really waiting to hear. They're telling me that the sound character of this motorcycle is quite different. Identifiable as an Africa Twin, but still quite different than the 1000. So that's something that I'm definitely waiting to hear, waiting to ride this motorcycle as soon as possible, really. And like I said, 24.8 liter tank. 24.8 liter tank. Looks massive. Certainly looks bigger than the 1000, but the seat section is slightly narrow. So the seat height is adjustable between 810 millimeters to 830 millimeters. So that's very good news. That is excellent news, in fact. And there, that's the urban mode, the tour mode, user 2, user 1, off-road mode, and gravel mode. Those were the modes that I spoke about. Every mode has its own layout. You can also customize the layouts. So in terms of usability, it will be much easier now. I really am dying to test out this motorcycle as soon as possible. And that is what the switch gear looks like. Still a lot of switches there, but at least visually right now, it doesn't look as intimidating as the one on the current Africa Twin or the 1000. This one definitely is going to be more accessible, easier to use and all of that. And since many of us asked for it, Honda's finally given a cruise control system. The handlebar is slightly closer to the seat now compared to the 1000, so that should also make the ergonomics a little better. Let me quickly see if I can hop onto the motorcycle and show you what it looks like. Let's call upon Anis. Anis, let's hop onto the black motorcycle and show you what it looks like. Just one sec. Well, finally astride the motorcycle, still not allowed to ride it. Yes, of course. So, yeah, certainly feels less intimidating when you get on board. The cockpit doesn't look as intimidating as before. Like I said, the seat definitely feels narrow between your legs now. So I'm really waiting to test it out, and that's something that will happen soon, hopefully. Well then, so this is the motorcycle. We showed you the black, we've shown you the tricolor, and just to reconfirm for all of you, there it is, the gear shifter with a proper linkage and everything. Okay, it's not just some switch mechanism like you had on the DCT. This is a proper conventional 6-speed manual transmission that you get with this bike now. So you have an option of choosing between the manual or the automatic. The manual is 15.35 lakh rupees ex-showroom pan-India. The automatic is 16.1 lakh rupees ex-showroom pan-India. Bookings have opened already. I believe 50,000 rupees is the booking amount. And the deliveries begin in May 2020. So this is what the bike is all about. So before we sign off, I'm going to quickly again just walk around the motorcycle, show you all the details once again, this time on the other color. Also, these are the new air intakes. If you remember, the air intakes on the previous one were next to the headlamp. These are slightly more discreet, and the face has gotten a little polarizing opinions really. So use the comment section, let me know what you think. Do you like this face? Do you like the 1000 better? Do you like the design of this bike overall? Let me know all these things in the comments below. So I think that is it from the launch of the Africa Twin 1100. I hope I have covered all the details for you. Whatever we haven't will be covered in the review, and like I said, I really can't wait to ride this bike as soon as possible. So this is what it is. This is the new Africa Twin CRF1100L Adventure Sport. Very long name, but I think that's something that many were waiting for, and it's finally here. So what does this bike go up against? Well, it goes up against the current BMW 850 GS, not the 1250. This goes up against the 850 GS, and it will also take on the upcoming Suzuki V-Strom 1050, and more importantly, it goes head-on against the new Tiger 900 that we recently reviewed. If you haven't watched the review already, head over to the OVERDRIVE YouTube channel and watch the review of the Tiger 900, and we hope to do a review of this motorcycle very soon as well. And while you are on the OVERDRIVE YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe to it if you haven't done that already. And if you have any more queries, like I said, use the comment section below, post all those queries to us, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And while you're at it, also subscribe to the other social media channels that OVERDRIVE is present on, and please give us your feedback, any questions that you may have about this vehicle or any other vehicle, and we'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. This is Rohit Paradkar for OVERDRIVE.